So Bernoulli principle applies to fluid lah. Fluid basically means liquid and gas, or I should say things that can flow. That's why we call something as fluid. Solid is not a fluid because solid doesn't flow. So Bernoulli principle states that pressure in moving fluid is less than the pressure in stationary fluid. Fluid that is moving means high speed, hence low pressure. So faster fluid moves, lower pressure produce. Okay, vice versa, slower fluid moves, higher pressure produce. Okay, so in conclusion, when we say speed is fast, pressure is low. Okay, so vice versa, the other way around. Okay, so when speed is low, okay, pressure is high. Well, it depending what kind of pressure we're talking about. It could be water pressure, it could be gas pressure, you know, it depends what fluid are we talking about lah. There's basically only two. What vice versa kept on saying? Oh, vice versa. Oh, means terbalik, like the other way around, like a lazy way of saying terbalik. So we say vice versa. Yeah, that's a short form, like vice versa. Okay, so speed increase, pressure decrease. Speed decrease, pressure increase. That's how basically Bernoulli principle works. Okay, and when there is a narrow area, when air or water flows through narrow area, the velocity, I should say the speed increases. So hence pressure decreases even more. This is best to explain when, let's say like raining or when wind blows, your window or like the door that are closed, right? Maybe the air would seep through the very narrow edge, and you can hear like there is like wind noise, like sometimes it even sounds like ghost, or maybe it's real ghost, I don't know. But that's like when there is it's a very windy day, you can kind of hear that kind of wind noise seeping through a very narrow area. Those areas have very high speed air flowing through. Hence, those area has very low pressure of air. Okay, so that's basically what number 5 means to us here. Narrow area, faster speed, hence lower pressure. Okay, Ken? So that's basically Bernoulli principle lah. And I think I remember last time during this, it was also MCO. Damn, we were repeating the same chapter in the same place already. MCO, we talk about chapter 5, and we are also talking about chapter 5 now, 2 times already. Stuck at home. So I remember that time we were talking about Bernoulli by using paper. I did show you all the paper example, right? When I blow air from the top of the paper actually comes up. So let me show you again. Get it? Like when you blow air from the top, why does the paper come up? That's because when you blow air from the top, the airflow on top is faster, hence pressure lower. The bottom of the paper has no airflow, hence pressure higher. So it pushes up. So the pressure that is higher at the bottom, right, basically is created by blowing air on the other side. We did not actually intentionally create the high pressure. We accidentally created the high pressure by blowing air faster on the other side. Hence, low pressure on this side, and the bottom part accidentally becomes high pressure. So that's Bernoulli principle. Okay, Ken. So then your school in science lab, the best way to prove Bernoulli principle is by using this all these vertical tubes to show the water level and to show the air level. So hence, this is honestly nothing to do in daily life, no use. It's just an apparatus to show how things works, okay? So let me go through with you. So there's basically only two types lah. I would say one type, which is the water liquid, and the other type is gas. Okay, so a thumb of rule, basically first thing first, you have to check out where the water or the air goes in through. So it's from the left going out to the right. So that's the first most important information you must have. Since it's going to the left, okay, we will start from the left. Liquid or gas always flows from high pressure to low pressure. Hey, everybody. Again, fluid, or I should say water and gas, liquid and gas, always, that's the rule, okay? Always flows from high pressure to low pressure. So this area pressure is high. This area pressure is low. In the tube, by the way, in the tube. Okay, so hence the water pressure here is higher. It pushes up to the highest level. Water pressure here is lowest. It pushes up to the lowest level. As easy as that, everybody. It's a mi, re, do, mi, re, do. Okay, there you go. That's the theory behind it. You can actually memorize the water level one. Very easy, only 4, 1, 2, 3, just like that. I mean, there's only 4 pictures to memorize. There's mi, re, do, and then you have do, re, mi. Then the other 2 more, just change the narrow area to shortest. Then can already, but that's not gonna bring you far. You have to know how to explain. Question will ask one like, hey, why X like that one? Hey, why Z like that one? You have to explain. Okay, so I'm not gonna go through the details. I'm just giving you the idea, and the main thing you all can read through when you have time. Okay, so another type will be the same thing. Water in from the left, water out from the right. If it's the other way around, then everything goes terbalik lah. That's when question wants to trick you, okay? Or else we will always assume that it goes in from the left, comes out to the right, okay? So everything remains the same. Mi, re, do. Okay, mi, that's a bit too low. Mi, re, do, right? But then remember the theory number 5 says when narrow area, velocity, or I should say the speed is very high. Hence, pressure is the lowest. So this area has to go to the lowest level. Is that all right? No problem? Okay, so this is high, this is medium, this is low. The difference between these two is very obvious. It's just the center one change to lowest, then can now. Reason? Very simple. Because the speed is very fast, so the pressure is the lowest. Well, the rest of the explanation works the same. Okay, okay, let's talk about airflow. Okay, so Bernoulli also applies to airflow, isn't it? So from the left to the right, same theory, everybody. High pressure to low pressure. Okay, so when the air flows in from the left with high pressure, the water is unable to come up to the highest point. So the air pushes it down. It's like a competition. The air is also fighting against the water that is coming up from the bottom. So this one has the highest pressure, so it pushes to the lowest level. This, we'll talk about air inside, by the way. Okay, then the second one medium, then the third one lesser. Then you might be thinking, why we need water like that one? Because in order to show the volume of air, we need water, correct mo? Or else how are you going to tell me how much pressure the air is? You cannot see what. So the only way to show it is to use the presence of water to show. If you were to ask me, how much air do I have in my bottle? How am I supposed to tell you? I can tell you how much water I have lah. Then you think about it lah, how much air I have lah. You get what I mean? The only way to show air is actually to have the presence of water, right? So that's basically how it works for the air category. Okay, so this one is higher, medium, lower. Okay, so same goes the other part. Well, same, narrow area, speed is the highest. Hence, pressure is the lowest. So the air lose the fight, the water from the bottom wins the fight. So you get this area to the highest point, which is the lowest pressure. So what's the difference between this and this? The only difference is the center part. Just change the level, then can already. Okay, very easy, straightforward. Okay, that's it. 4 types. No problem. Let's go to the question, shall we? So please turn with me. I think we'll just straight go to the last question. 18. Then we'll come back and talk about the aeroplane later. Okay, question 18. Just turn over to the last page. Righty. Okay, this is airflow, and notice that the air goes from the left. Everything normal. Okay, so theory says that airflow or liquid flow always flows from high pressure to low pressure. Okay, and then K is the narrowest, so hence the speed is fast. Hence pressure is very low. Okay, so then you got all this stuff. I know the level is there already, but I want you to understand the reason behind, because you need to explain. For example, question A1. State one observation of the water level. Okay, like very straightforward. You have 3 to talk about, up to you. Usually I will go for the highest and the lowest, then that is more obvious. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna go for the first one, which is P. So you can say the water level in tube P is the lowest, something like that. Or you want to go for Q is the highest, also can. Like you all choose, you choose. Okay, no problem. Right, next one, inference, shall we? Is to continue on. Inference is observation plus reason. For so many weeks you've been doing this. I'm pretty sure you know the hang of it already. Okay, so basically bring down your observation, then because. Like what? Like, the water level in P is the lowest because, very obvious already, ba? Why water level is lowest? Because at J is highest pressure, right? Express in your own way, doesn't matter. Okay. So if you are talking about Q, then you do the same way. Q is highest. Why? Because pressure at K is the lowest, something like that. So like everybody help yourself. Okay, format. All good. Shouldn't be a problem, right? Very easy sentence to write. Okay. Shall we go to B? Responding variable. What's your responding variable? The only result here is very obvious, isn't it? Right? What you see is the responding. Correct, Ashara. So water level, water level in the tube. But everybody, what does water level tells you? What is the meaning of what's the meaning behind water level? Water level high, water level low, what does that tell you? That tells you the what in the tube? Yeah, the pressure, correct. It tells the remaining of the gas. Okay, that's the middle step. Then one more step behind. What does the gas in the tube means? The pressure, the amount of pressure we have. Why this is so low? Because the pressure is the highest. So basically, all responding sure got two answer one. First answer is what your eyes can see. Second answer is the reason behind. You understand? So you can write water level for your responding, water level in the tube, or you can rather choose the real meaning behind, which is the pressure. It's up to you. You know, like last week we talked about the depth of dent on the plasticine. The depth of dent on the plasticine is what you see, but the real meaning behind basically means the momentum. You know, when the trolley hits the plasticine and then it creates a dent, right? Very surface answer you can see with your eyes is the dent. What does that mean? That actually means the momentum produced by the trolley. So same goes to this. You understand the theory. So you can write both for now, but in exam you choose one, that doesn't matter. Okay, C. Based on this experiment, state the operational. Ayo, this one, so many times lah. So your subject is Bernoulli Principle, your responding variable is what you need to answer with. So there you go, you have your answer here already. Bring it down. Remember the format, right? You have to imagine this. There's this 5-year-old kid asking you, I've been doing this for every question about this. So how are you going to explain to the 5-year-old kid? What is Bernoulli Principle? Like, oh my God, it's you again. How do am I someone explain to this 5-year-old kid? She's not going to understand, right? If you explain the theory. So the best way is to explain based on things that the kid can see, which is your responding variable. See. You want to try that, everyone? You're try. We've been writing this for so many weeks already. You're all right. So Bernoulli Principle, well, it's not a substance anymore. You know, you can't use that. Usually we say like blah 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 is a substance. You know, but Bernoulli is what? Bernoulli Principle is a principle. Bernoulli Principle is a principle. Then how can you connect to your responding leh? Means the water level, right? So Bernoulli Principle is where the water level. Monisha, very, very close. But how can you prove the 5-year-old kid, like what is Bernoulli? Okay, you look at the tube, where the water level is, that basically means Bernoulli. So Bernoulli Principle, right, can be shown, can be proven by, or can be shown by the water level in the vertical tubes. That's the proof. You want to know about Bernoulli? Look at the water level. That's the water level. That's the Bernoulli Principle. So everyone in your chat box, you can refer that to yours. Bernoulli Principle is a principle that can be shown by. Usually we use the sentence like that one. Blah, blah, blah is a substance, or blah, blah, blah is a force, or blah, blah, blah is a principle that can be shown by, that can be proven by, that can be shown by, that can be proven by, that can be shown by, that can be proven by. Generally, I cannot say that you use the same thing for all, but that's a good start. You can try off for the rest of the question. Okay, can it's like asking like, what is momentum? They're like, oh, you again. Momentum. Momentum is a force that can be shown by the depth of dent produced on the plasticine by the trolley. Haha. Yeah. Look at the dent. deep than, high momentum, large momentum, smaller than, smaller momentum. Haha, go play your Barbie doll. Don't ask me science question anymore. It rhymes. But anyway, you'll get the point, right? Like how are you going to explain to a 5-year-old kid? The best way is to tell her or tell him to look at things that is visible to the eyes. Or I should say you're responding verbal. Okay. So like we have one last part about the aeroplane to go. We'll come back to the aeroplane, last page. Okay. Now, there's only one thing I want to talk about here, although it looks like a full page of theory, but actually nothing much. Aeroplane has 4 forces. I'm pretty sure everyone recognizes this, okay? In order for aeroplane to fly, you must have lift and thrust force to overcome gravitational, to overcome drag, okay? Both of gravitational and drag, they are natural, yeah? In order to create thrust, it has to be the jet engine that pushes the aeroplane forward. I'll leave that to you to read, no problem. Okay, what I want to talk about is the lift force. So in order to create lift force for the aeroplane to lift upwards, we need the help of Bernoulli's principle. Oh, yeah. Okay. You okay? So that's why we talk about Bernoulli just now. So how does Bernoulli principle work for aeroplanes? So basically, Bernoulli works in aeroplane due to the shape of the wing. You all have to remember the shape of the wing. It's called aerofoil. So how aerofoil work is this? When aeroplane is being thrust forward by the engine, aeroplane will go forward. So the air will flow through the wing like that, right? Okay, because of the shape like that, the airflow on the top is faster because it's like a slide. It's like, whoa, whoa, you know, like, whoa, you know, but this one is like, eh, eh. Okay, so apply your Bernoulli principle, guys. When airflow is faster, pressure is lower. When airflow is slower comparatively to the top, then pressure is higher. So if you kept doing this fast enough and long enough, the lift force is produced from the bottom. Higher pressure will push the wing upwards. This is done by using Bernoulli principle on airflow. Okay, so yeah, basically you have to kind of memorize how to explain the whole thing for essay experiments. I mean, section C, question 11 and 12, you have to explain for probably 3 marks or 4 marks. So there you go. That's the point of this part. Okay, but subjective could ask also, like subjective could ask you, please label the area with high pressure. Then you must label like bottom or please label the fastest airflow, then on top lor. You must know the theory first, of course. But to explain how aeroplane fly, you use this. Okay, so aerofoil shape, 1 point. Airflow faster, low pressure on the top, 1 point. Slower, high pressure at the bottom. 3rd point, difference in pressure produces lift force, 4 points, or I should say 4 marks. Usually works like that. Very important. Please memorize that. Okay, it's fixed. It's very straightforward. There's only 4 points to mention. Number 1, the shape. Number 2, on top, fast airflow, slow pressure. Bottom, low air, slow airflow, high pressure. Difference in pressure pushes the wing upwards, or it creates a lift force. So remember the keywords rather than memorizing like every single word. Okay, yeah, there you go. Now, for you to practice to write the whole thing, right, it's actually this question. This one, aeroplane, and then number 2, you have to explain, but it's not subjective. Subjective don't have one. I purposely put as subjective for you to practice, like to explain the all 4 points. You all can try memorize 1 time, then you're right now, but not now like when you free like when you free Okay. So there you go. That's it. That's the aeroplane part. Everybody, no problem. I guess that's your chapter 5. The last part lah. Last week we didn't finish. Okay, no problem. You okay? Still there? I think we can go to your chapter 6. Yeah. So you all got your book, right? 6, 7, and 8, the last 3 chapters. Okay, shall we? Okay, now chapter 6 is I would say the easiest chapter in your entire science, Form 4 and Form 5. It's all the food processing method, but the difficult part is that to memorize the chemicals and all the preservatives and what's the advantage, disadvantage of the method and what kind of food is for. But rather, it's a lot easier than chapter 5 lah. So I'm not gonna go through too details. I will go to the exercise very soon. I'm just gonna quickly bring you through. So why processed food? Basically, we process food that's because we want to change raw food into edible food and can keep longer. So the main aim of processing food is to keep longer, basically. There you go. Okay, to kill microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi and to make the food last longer. Okay, well, the rest not super important, but also important to know, like to make food easier for digestion, make food tastier, adding in more nutrition, make it more attractive. Okay, yeah, that's the first part, right? Then down to your chemicals that we have. This is the part where you have to put some effort to memorize. So we have preservatives. Everyone know what preservative is. Please try to remember the function. Maybe let's choose 2 examples. Okay, benzoic acid and sodium nitrate. Okay, coloring. I'm pretty sure everyone knows coloring. Food somehow has coloring to add color. There's so many coloring lah. We go for yellow methanol, for example. Okay, bleach is the opposite of coloring. That's to remove color. Okay, doesn't matter. We'll leave it that way. Like for bihun, for flour, we use bleach to make it look cleaner, look purer. Okay. Flavoring, that's fig flavor. We have ester, which we talk about in chapter 4, Form 5, chapter 4, esterification, and we have monosodium glutamate, MSG, Asian power. Our food is so tasty because we believed in MSG. Okay, we even pray to MSG. So MSG is so important in our lives. Okay, stabilizer and emulsifier both works together, by the way. Okay, so if exam we put MSG, then got a lot of flavor lor. Then your exam paper a lot of flavor lor. No, cannot. Must write full name. Monosodium glutamate, like CFC, cannot. Chlorofluorocarbon. Okay lah, very easy only ma. Hello. As Asian, you must know the full name of MSG. That's the goddess of the goddess in our food. So cannot MSG. I don't think teacher is accept that. Okay. If question own self write MSG, then it's fine. But when you write, when you're asked to write, you write monosodium glutamate. Okay. Right. Then you can bracket MSG, but you can never write just MSG by itself. Okay, so I was saying stabilizer and emulsifier works together, like all the sauces and creams and like Thousand Island, mayonnaise, ice creams, ketchup, chili sauce. Those are oil and water. We don't want them to precipitate or to separate. So stabilizer and emulsifier is to like lock them together to maintain the texture. Okay, so both of them have to add together and it works in a pair. So we have starch, for example, we have citric acid, tartaric acid. Okay, acidic is acids are very good binding agent. Okay, like lemon juice. Let's say you want to make your own raw sauces. Adding lemon juice is a good binder. It keeps them in their texture. Okay. Sweetener is to take over or to replace sugar, because sugar very expensive. So we can use fake sugar or man-made sugar or chemical sugar. Okay, in your sweets and also in your all the chewing gum and all that. Okay, we have saccharin, xylitol. Antioxidant is to prevent fat oxidation. Oily food, we must have this: cheese, bacon, ham, sausages, chips, potato chips and all that, junk food, you know. If it's oily food in packaging, we must have antioxidant. Okay, that's to prevent fat oxidation. Oily fats can oxidize by oxygen very easily. All right. Yeah, pretty much like that. Then you have all this, oh my God, you have all this food processing method. You have to remember the good thing about, the advantage about it, the disadvantage about it, for what kind of food, what kind of temperature, what kind of method, what's the main steps of doing that. Like for example, dehydration, the aim is to remove water, no microorganism. You know, also, I think I'm not gonna go through one by one. That's for you to read through. We will straight go to some exercise. So please turn with me to page 15, question number 2 in your exercise book, okay? Alrighty, so shall we? Now we have tomatoes, tomato sauce and sausage. Name one chemical in the food, or not in the food above, like in any kind of food. Okay, you have so many chemicals. We will just go for any type. But asking for, I think, hey, why did I? I'm talking about this one. Not the example. Question did not say example. If question say example, then you write example. But question asking for the chemicals we have, unless they ask like name or examples of the chemicals. So I don't know, whatever you want to go for, anything in this box is okay. Preservative, let's say. Okay, stabilizer, you want, okay, can. Sweetener, be responsible of what you choose, because the next one you need to explain the function. State the function of the chemical. I don't know lah, you choose. Hey, why I kept going to the wrong file? So you choose. I don't know what you choose, so please go along with the function. All right. Okay, next one, shall we? Okay. Oh, come on, stop it. Where's the this one is okay. Give 2 effects of excessive use of chemical. Now all these chemicals are actually not good. Excessive use means the effect to the body. We actually had it here. It's a very small part, but I guess a lot of times we ignore this part. So these are the effects. So if you're thinking, so many, okay, you memorize this few that I highlight with you. If you take too much of all the chemicals in food, right, you might get cancer, you might get food poisoning, you might get diarrhea, you might get asthma, you might get itchy skin, depending on the substance. But generally, good answer for general answer, it will be cancer, food poisoning, and diarrhea. Asthma and itchy skin is very specific to a preservative, by the way. Okay, can? Alrighty, 2 effects, that's it. State the technology used in food processing and packaging in diagram above. Like, what is the technology to process tomato sauce and sausages? I mean, this page. process, not to keep. A lot of people, oh, freezer. I know food are basically being stored in freezer and refrigerator. Now I'm not talking about storage, I'm talking about how they are being processed in factory. So, okay, because you can refer now, imagine an exam, there's no reference, right? You have to go by like kick out method in your head. You have to go like, okay, does tomato sauce goes by pasteurization? Oh, no. Does tomato sauce goes by freezing? So you have to go one by one to kick out, then you see which is the nearest or which is the most suitable one. That's basically how you do it in rather than you like, I don't know, I cannot think, I don't know. You go by kick out method. So what do you all think? Tomato sauce, which one? Do we go by vacuum packaging? Do you buy vacuum pack tomato sauce? Which one is the closest that we should go to? Really? You buy vacuum tomato sauce? Freezing? What? You buy like tomato sauce cube? Like frozen tomato sauce cube? Pasteurization? What? Do you all buy like... Because if pasteurization, that means your tomato sauce, once you open it, you must finish today. Pasteurization is for milk, for fruit. Monisha gave up. Don't lah, angry Monisha. I was just joking lah. Thanks for trying. Don't give up. Okay, most of you say canning lah. Vacuum packaging. Some of you freezing, cooling. What else? Okay, good try, my friends. So I guess the closest answer we can have is canning. Yeah, it's canning. You don't really buy like vacuum packaging kind of tomato sauce, or you don't. Liquid cannot vacuum packaging. Always remember, liquid cannot vacuum pack one. We don't. Okay, so for cooling, freezing, all that is how you store it. It's not how you process it. Okay, so canning will be very close, but you be like, huh? Where you got canned tomatoes? I thought I buy bottle one. So they use the canning method or the canning technology, but it's just in a bottle form. So believe it or not, it's called bottling. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but it's called bottling. Okay, but it's canning technology. Anyway, you can write canning, you can write bottling. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Oh, why capital letter, Monisha? So it's called bottling. Yeah, everybody, no problem. Yeah, all the bottle. It's actually the same method as canning. They cook the substance first. They cook it and kill germs, and then they suck out all the air of the substance, like in the can or in the bottle. They suck up all the air. That's why when you buy bottle and when you buy canned stuff, right, or be it in those medium-sized glass bottle, you have to press the top, the cap, to see if it's spoiled. If the bottle masuk angin, you press the top of the metal cap, it goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Then don't buy. Spoil liao. Don't buy. So every time you buy those sauces, those glass bottle with metal cap, or any kind of canning method of food, right? Press the metal lid. If you press the clicking sound, tick, 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 cannot, means masuk angin. And then if it's okay, right, you go home, you open the first open, air goes in and the metal cap pops up. And then from then you can press every time you have the clicking sound because you open already. So check that. That's the clicking where you can see if it's air inside or no, because canning or bottling are supposed to clear all the air and your food is free of air. No air, no microorganism. Okay, so canned food, bottle food, right, you can keep to the end of the earth. It won't spoil one if it's not exposed to air. Yo, that's bottling. Next one. Sausages. So long one. What do you mean so long one? You mean sausage very long? You mean can keep so long? Hiya, you caught me. You caught me. You caught me right there. I thought I say sausage, then you type me so long. I thought you're talking about sausage. So very naughty lah, you. Can keep so long. Yeah, canned food can keep very long one. The expiry date canned food is like 5 years like that. 3 years to 5 years. Longer than that also can if you don't open up. Because no air, no air, no microorganism. No microorganism means no problem. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, sausage. Sorry, I missed your answers. Sorry, the Jajun was talking about the so long. I got carried away. Freezing, vacuum. Okay, most of you vacuum. Wait, why got irradiation one? Okay, when you all buy sausage, it's in vacuum packaging, I believe, right? I know it's at the freezer compartment. That's how we keep things, guys. Remember, we don't usually write those freezing, cooling unless they are like fresh meat or like fruit juice or milk and all. I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say milk and fruit juice. That's pasteurization. That's how we keep basically. So when you buy sausages, ham, all that, right? It's in vacuum packaging. You know why? Because sausages, ham, and cheese and bacon, they are all fatty food. Fatty food is very easily oxidized by air. Hence, vacuum packaging is the best method to suck out all the air. No air, no mantai. Okay, no problem. No air, no problem. So vacuum packaging is best to use for fatty food. Okay, so you all buy sausage, be it the Ramly type of sausages, the cheap lousy one, or you buy from those like the non-halal area where they are, you know, all vacuum packed. Okay, so answer is vacuum packaging. Don't just write vacuum by the way, just to let you know that's because I'm afraid that you write vacuum only. So vacuum packaging, my friends. Okay, no problem. Alrighty, let's see, what else do we have? Okay, maybe you can try out number 3. So can you all write down all the methods of processing? Okay, or I should say the packaging. Okay, X, Y, Z, yeah. So your wait for you. Okay, so first one, susu. Of course lah, everyone must know lah, basic. Susu must be pasteurization, correct, Amelia? Sardine must be canning, correct? And udang kering, it's obvious. Dehydration, yeah, man. Okay, pasteurization, canning, dehydration, everybody. Describe briefly how food is processed using X. How food is processed using pasteurization. Oh, no joke, I tell you. You all really have to remember what happened inside. Pasteurization. Okay, what happened is food is heated 6330, 7215, and then cooled immediately. Number 2, everybody. The number I have to remember one. You gotta play. Both, both. 63307215. Remember it now. Okay, that's how you do it for pasteurization. So only from, you see, it doesn't goes to boiling point. So that means it doesn't kill microorganism completely. Okay, cannot keep for too long. Also must finish it as soon as you can. So number 2, everybody. Yeah, and does not kill spores. That's right. That's the disadvantage, by the way. Okay, so pasteurization is good for like fresh stuff, usually liquid, milk and juice, yogurt, all that things in the grocery where in the cool area. Yeah, those are all pasteurized product basically. Okay. Alrighty, next one. State one advantage of why. Canning advantage. Okay. Like it kills bacteria and spores, maybe. Okay, remove oxygen that causes oxidation, maybe. Okay. Can I? Okay, then one technique to remove water from Z. Technique, okay, I know dehydration, but how, right? So dehydration, usually there is a few methods to do it, right? So dehydration, we use heat to dry lah. But what kind of heat? We have a few types, yeah? So basically, this one, everybody. Okay, wait, let me look at the question again. Suggest one technique. Okay, that means how. Heat, we all know, but how to heat, how to use the heat. Dry it under the sun, for instance, drying over the flame or drying in oven. You get what I mean? So yeah, Shara, that's basically what question was. Of course, dehydration uses heat. You want to dry things, of course, use heat, but how? That's called one technique. So there you go. Okay, your juice, your juice. We go one more type of question, if you're done, which is the food labeling one. You all remember this, right? There is 5 basic information must be in the labeling. You all take a look. Name and address of the manufacturer. The food type means the name of the food, and the food ingredient, quantity and expiry date. So let's take a look at the labeling question, like 20. Page 20, question 9. Okay. Page 20, question 9. No problem. Okay, so like now we have a chocolate. Then what else do we have? Question number 1 asking for all the information. You know what? You can copy later. Let's not waste time on that. You know, like a name and address of manufacturer. So please write all that down. All 5, all 5, I'm gonna skip that. Okay. So let's check if everything is in. Food type, yes. Food quantity, yes. What is missing, by the way? Name and address of manufacturer. Well, a lot is missing. Expiry date is missing. Ingredient is missing. Yeah, price is missing. YOLO. Halal sign is missing. Halal is not the compulsory one because some food is non-halal. So that's not in the list. Okay. So anyway, just the question is not asking for that. If question is asking what is missing, right, then you must write all that. Okay, but anyway, question is asking you to write all, everything. Okay. This one is free of charge. Maybe it's 11/11 that day. Oh, no price. So this is free. Or 11/11. You're shopping or not? Coming soon. 11/11. 5 more days. So which of the information is most important to consider? Obviously, this is like a standard question. We will always, first most important thing is to look for your expiry date. Okay, so like expiry date, everybody, most important. Why? Very easy. That's to prevent from buying expiry food, because you can get food poisoning. So to prevent buying expired food which may cause food poisoning. That's the reason why we look at expiry date. Second most important thing is the ingredient. Some people have allergy. You have to check, like, I cannot eat this, I cannot eat dairy, I cannot eat nuts. So you have to check out. But of all, expiry date is most important because even you know that the product is suitable for you. Like, oh, I cannot eat nuts and this is no nuts. Yay, good for me. But expired. I don't care. I'm gonna buy because this is suitable for me. I don't care if it's expired. Cannot, right? So expiry date is still the most important thing. Okay. What is the bad effect of eating too much of chocolate? Why so sudden? Why so random one? This is like your nutrition question leh. Chocolate a lot of sugar, diabetes will be a good answer, and also bad for teeth. You see those little kids when they smile at you, their teeth cannot make it they eat a lot of sugar stuff, so their teeth has dental decay, rotting off. Okay, all right, that's for C, everybody. Mr. Tan want to export a type of fish to Canada. Okay, I'm not sure if you're aware of nowadays, we can buy a lot of seafood from Facebook. I'm not sure if you're at Facebook. If you check out that, a lot of people do like online selling, live selling. They sell like frozen seafood, or you go to grocery, there's this compartment, there's this department where it sells frozen seafood, like I don't know, like king crab all the way from Alaska, big clams, a big even like they sell like the whole turkey all the way from, I don't know, Italy or whatever. All this export food, especially want to go for another country, right? We will go for one method, which is called the freeze drying. Okay, it's freezing and drying combined together. You freeze it at a very cold temperature, and some more you use high pressure to actually suck out all the water moisture. So freeze drying usually go for seafood. It's very famous method now. Freeze drying. Okay, we use this technology for seafood. All the seafood that is frozen you buy in grocery, they undergone freeze drying method. So the next question is asking why? Why freeze drying can maintain freshness? Now the main point is not freezing. The main point of freeze drying is actually to dry up the moisture so you can keep longer. No water, no microorganism. Remember, no air, no microorganism. So for this question, it's basically no water, no microorganism. So in your chat box, everybody, food is frozen at temperature less than -18 and water is removed. So microorganism cannot survive without water. Alrighty. Okay, last question, everybody. Okay. Do you agree with the use of preservative and justify your answer? Okay, these are open-ended answer, means you can choose yes or no, but make sure you explain accordingly. So it's preservative good? Actually, preservative very important. If no preservative, our food industry long gone already. No need to do business there. We have to keep food. We will be out of food, right? And food can send to overseas for longer distance. So it's very important actually. But if you want to say no, it is acceptable as well, because it's actually very bad. Food preservative is actually bad for your body in long term. Processed food, we all know it's not good. So yes and no, I don't know, you choose. I give you both. If you want to write both, that's good. Yes, because food can last longer. Yeah, correct, Amelia. And no, because it can cause a lot of health problems. So you want to write both also can, or you want to write either one also can. It's open-ended. Not every time open-ended you have to see like this is open-ended like some question they ask you, in your opinion, is drugs good for, is drug abuse good? Then you know that kind of answer, you cannot say yes, right? If you say yes, then you better have a very strong answer to help you out. Or like drinking alcohol is, in your opinion, is taking alcohol good for the body? You know, this kind of answer, it sounds like open-ended, but it's actually not. So be careful, I'm just saying. Okay. Yo, if you need time to copy slowly, you can do like a print screen and copy that. And I guess we're done with chapter 6. Yay, peeps. We have still 7 and 8 to go. We're using the same book next week. So I guess we're done for tonight. I will see you next week, my friend.